be reacting to some, let me put you guys up a little bit, Norwegian culture videos on YouTube. For a little bit of context, I've been living in Norway. I'm an American, first and foremost. And I've been living in Norway for about 3 years, I think. 3 years? Yeah. So I'm gonna be watching some of these Norwegian culture videos and reacting to it, and it's gonna be interesting to see if I've heard a lot of this stuff, if any of it is still shocking to me, or what they have to say, really. Okay, I'm gonna try this screen recording thing. All right, I believe it's going.
Are Norwegians really that cold people? Let's find out. Okay, let's find out if it's really true. Because I got the myth about that Norwegians are cold, difficult.
This is edited. This was like the epitome of I just learned how to edit YouTube videos 3 years ago. 3 years ago! You edit like this? That's silly.
To speak with, hard to make friends with, and closed people. I really don't understand this. Before I answer that question, I'm going to take a look at the culture a little bit. Because we Norwegians are really used to having a cold weather, a cold climate. And it makes sense that this one affects our culture and our behavior a lot. Also, Norway is a really big country with a lot of space and nature. There's a lot of spaces between the houses, especially if you go to the north. Okay, so it makes...
I don't necessarily think that's true. I mean, there is a lot of space. Like, you have a lot of forest and green and like nature, outdoor spaces, but I feel like the houses in general, at least where I am, are very close together. Sometimes they're even connected. So, and you have barely any semblance of a yard. And that's just where I live here, literally looking out the window. The houses are very, very close together. And where I grew up in the US, I grew up out in the country, and it was a mile before you got to the neighbor's house. So that is different to me. It seems like everything is very close together in the cities and in the towns. But then once you're outside of the town and outside of where the houses are, there is a lot of space and a lot of nature and just free roaming nature.
Sense that this also affects our behavior because we get used to having our space and our privacy. For example, if you go to the south of Europe, like Italy and Spain and Portugal, there we have a really hotter climate, so it makes sense that people go more out, they want to do more things, they want to make more plans. It affects their energy, their mood, they're more like open and stuff. If you go to Norway, it makes sense that because of there's more cold, we like to stay more by ourselves in our houses with a family, and we don't want to go out that much.
I think that makes sense. Like that logic makes sense to me.
It makes sense that this one affects our mentality and behavior quite a lot. Also because how the Norwegian system is structured, they want people to work as much as possible. So it's really like a working mentality there, okay? So
I agree and I disagree. The working system is, I don't see it as like they want you to work. Like, it's not like hustle culture in the US where it's like if you don't do hard work, you're never going to make it anywhere in life. It's not like that. But you are encouraged to work. You are encouraged to contribute to society, and you do that by having a job and working. But I don't necessarily see it as Norwegians want you to work all the time and work so hard like that. But you are encouraged to work. Work is more of like a positive thing, where it's like, of course you're gonna work because you want to contribute to the society. You want to be a part of what is happening, right?
So it's kind of like, I think it's created like a little bit of I don't know what to say, like a habit of we don't want to interrupt each other's time that much unless it's necessary. So we want to kind of respect each other's privacy. So we're not used to like going up and disturbing a lot of people we don't know, because we are used to just get on our things, go to our job and then go back. It's kind of like a mentality we have, I think. I'm not speaking for everyone, but I'm seeing this pattern because I've seen how it is in the south of Europe, and it's a really bit different mentality in terms of working. How the system is working here in Norway, everything is really safe. We have a really amazing healthcare system, and we get really good taken care of. The thing about this one, we get really like traditional because of this, and really we like safety. We don't like to take risks because we are actually really comfortable the way it is, because we get taken care of really good. That being said, I don't think that Norwegian people are rude, but I think because of all the factors, we are a bit colder for sure than maybe like in the south of Europe.
I agree to an extent. I don't think Norwegians are rude at all. I think Norwegians are judgmental, if that makes sense. They're judgmental of anything that's outside of their norm. So if you're an American and you're coming in and you're being really loud, a Norwegian is going to be like, oh my God, like look at that American, that's so embarrassing, you know? But if you were to just strike up a conversation with a Norwegian, it's not that weird, truly, in the right setting. I'm not going to sit next to someone on the bus and strike up a conversation about how your day has been. However, if you're at a restaurant, at a party, or whatever, it's not weird to start a conversation with a Norwegian. And most Norwegians are very happy to do that because most Norwegians are shy. They're very shy, introverted people. So you going up to someone and striking up a conversation and asking them is, I think, a little bit relieving to the Norwegian, because now they have an excuse to talk to you and to say something to you, but they're not gonna initiate those things.
All of this being said, I also want to say that it's really amazing to be a part of a Norwegian group of his friends or family. If you end up going to Norway, and maybe it's going to take you a little bit more time, but once you get a part of a Norwegian group, it's something really amazing, and it's going to end up being like a family to you. Trust me.
Yeah, that one was nice. That was nice enough. The editing was a little bit weird in the beginning, but let's see, what else? Norwegian work culture. How long is that? An hour? No. Norwegian history, Norwegian culture shocks. Let's do that, Norwegian culture shocks.
Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I will be sharing the biggest culture shocks I had moving from upstate New York to Oslo, Norway. Here we go! Everything is closed on Sundays. Good luck finding some place to buy just a pack of bread on Sunday, because chances are you either won't or will have to walk quite a while to the nearest 7-day-a-week supermarket, which is rare in the city and non-existent elsewhere. Then
that is true. That was weird to me as well, that everything is closed on Sunday, and it is something that I do find myself missing about living in the US, because I don't know, maybe I just haven't gotten used to it yet, but like Sunday rolls around and I say, oh my gosh, I'm out of bread. Oh my gosh, I'm out of diapers for my kid, you know? But it's Sunday and literally everything is closed. So you cannot go anywhere. There is one 7-day-a-week shop in our town, and on Sunday it is crowded as hell. Like, it is so hard to walk around in that store, and it's tiny. Norway has a limit on, if you're open on Sunday, you can only be a certain square footage. So if you're open, it's a tiny shop. It's a very small place or a small portion of the store. So not everything is going to be available as well. But that is something that I do find myself missing about living in Norway.
what's everyone doing if everything is closed on Sundays? Hiking in the forest, of course. Which brings me to my next point. Nature is ingrained in the culture from a very young age. I remember once looking at the rainstorm outside, when suddenly realizing that the barnehage, kindergarten, playground in the building across from mine was filled with children. They were running around in the rain like there was no tomorrow in their little rain boots and raincoats. Sunny day? Outside.
True. That is something that I also noticed is I have a 1-year-old and she goes to Barnehage, and it is very, very normal for them to be outside no matter the weather. And I mean, they have to dress accordingly for that, right? So you're buying so many outdoor clothes and gloves and hats and shoes and things that are going to keep them warm because they're going to go outside no matter what. It's just what they do. I work at an international school. One of the first days that I was there, I was substituting for like a elementary school class, and one of the teachers came in because the kids were complaining about having to go outside in the snow, and one of the teachers, she's from Great Britain, she came in and she was like, "Come on, we have to go outside. You're in Norway. You have to be Norwegian. You go outside no matter what." And I just thought that was...
Skis and sleds, outside. Pouring rain and thunder, outside. Nature is just the way of life. Every second seat on the tram.
They also have that freedom to roam law in Norway, that if you own like woods or outdoor spaces, people can be on your property, camp on your property, hike on your property, and you're not allowed to do anything about it because you have freedom to roam in Norway and freedom to be outside and freedom to be in nature. I think it's like a certain meter distance from homes you can't camp. Like, of course, you can't camp right next to someone's house, but if they own a big plot of land, you're able to camp on their land. You just can't be so close to their house. And that's something that I thought was really cool when I first moved here, that it's just so normal and so expected to be outside and to be in nature. And I mean, they have something called like Sundagsvalk or some Sundags, I don't know, something like that, where it's called like Sunday walk, where there's nothing else to do on Sunday, so go outside, go be outside, go walk around, you know? It's just very
Is empty. It's no secret that Nordics like their space, perhaps a tad too much. The trams are filled like checkerboards.
I don't think it's too much. I think it's great, honestly. If I can avoid sitting next to a random stranger on the bus or the train, I am very happy that they also feel the same way.
With half the passengers standing in the aisle. Animals emulate human nature. Wherever you're out on the streets, you're likely to bump into a dog on a leash out for its walk. In America, the dog will probably try to jump on you, bark at you, or sniff you. Just the usual chatty friendliness of an American. In Norway, the dogs calmly walk past pedestrians in the same quiet and reserved manner as their Norwegian owners.
I think that's because it's more normal to train your dog here. Like, people are very intentional with their choice of having a dog and getting a dog, and they're very responsible about it. And I think it's just very normal to train your dog and to make sure that your dog is not an asshole, right? Because that's true. Most of the time you're going to walk by a person walking their dog isn't going to pay you any mind. And that's because it's trained. And that's something that I think is lacking in the US. People get dogs just to have dogs, but you have to be very intentional about getting dogs in Norway. It's not so easy to buy a dog. It's not so easy to have a dog here. I think it's just people are more intentional about it. People are more willing to train their animals and make sure that their animals aren't going to disturb others.
There are no Norwegians in Oslo during the 3-week summer holiday. Well, someone's still running the businesses during this time, but a large percentage of people you passing on the street are tourists coming to enjoy the midnight sun.
That's because all the Norwegians leave. When you have paid vacation, when you have so much paid vacation, you're gonna leave. You're not gonna be here in the summer.
Norwegians are off to warmer countries during this granted 3-week vacation, knowing that their 6-month winter with little to no sun is well on its way. There is one option from every product. Say you need to pick up a bottle of shampoo from a supermarket in America. You've got shampoo for thick hair, thin hair, curly hair, straight hair, dandruff, dark hair, blonde hair. In Norway, you've got shampoo that washes hair. You want your hair clean, you buy this bottle. And the same goes for a vast majority of products. You can't be too picky.
Yeah. I think it's gotten a little bit more normal to have more options. However, it is still very few options. Stores like Normal, they have tons of options. I mean, definitely not as much options as you have in the US, but they have a bunch. They have curly hair, whatever kind of hair you have, options. But if you're going to the supermarket, like Rema 1000, then no, they're only gonna have 3 or 4 different options for you. And it's not normal to use conditioner. That's weird. I think that's weird.
Although, if you'd like the American selection, you can shop at a store called Normal. It's an extremely popular chain store which carries all of the American brand household items. The bags are often reused by environment-conscious Norwegians, and these green bags are often seen on the streets.
Because they're nice. I mean, and you pay for it. So you're not just getting it for free. You're paying for every single bag that you get in Norway. So you're gonna reuse it. And it works. Like, it's a felt, it's like a nice material bag. It's not plastic or anything. It's not gonna break. So yeah, you're gonna use it.
Green recycling. Speaking of Norway and the environment, we've got their detailed recycling at number 7. Everyone has multiple bins in their home, and different color bags are sold, labeled with what they're used for. For example, blue is for plastic, and white is for restavfall, anything that remained after the sorting. Not recycling is punishable by the law. No alcohol to be found.
And you have pant, which I'm interested that she didn't bring that up, but your cans or your plastic bottles, you have to take them to the grocery store and pant them in these pant machines and you get money back for it. So you pay like an extra tax on it when you purchase it, but you're supposed to get that back when you pant the cans, and you can use that money on your next groceries or whatever.
Alcohol is extremely expensive in Norway and is tightly controlled by the government. There's only one government-run chain store that sells alcohol, and even that store is open only for very limited hours every week. Since buying drinks at a bar could set you back.
That was wild to me, that there's only one store for alcohol. Vinmonopolet, wine monopoly, basically. And it's the only place to get wine or liquor. You can buy beer at the grocery stores, but you can only get wine and liquor at this one store. And yeah, she's right. They have very limited hours. I think they close at, what time do they close? They close at 6, I think, on weekdays, and then 4 on weekends. So it's very strict about what times you can buy alcohol and how much you can buy as well. You can't buy a huge amount, I don't think. As one person, I don't think you can buy a big amount of alcohol at one time. I might be wrong though, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, I thought that was crazy, that there's only one place to get your wine and your liquor. But I mean, it's true, it's for Norwegian, it's for safety, really, and being responsible about your drinking.
Good few bucks. Many Norwegians gather first at a friend's house to drink before going out to a club or bar for the night. Dugnad. Dugnads are any community gathering of people doing volunteer work. It can be all the tenants of a building working together to clean the yard in the spring, students of a school holding a bake sale to raise money, or all the members of a religious community repainting their building's walls together.
So the US has this in a sense where you have volunteer work, right? Or Like if you're a part of a school, you'll have a bake sale or you'll sell chocolate or whatever it may be. That's technically dugnad in Norway. But the dugnad where you go together to make your community better was a culture shock moment to me, for sure. Especially when my daughter went to Barnehage, because they have required mandatory dugnad days where you go and you clean the kindergarten or you clean up outside the kindergarten. You make it look nice, and parents, you have to go. It's mandatory. It's mandatory volunteer work, and people are happy to do it. People are like, yeah, of course I would do that. My kid goes to this school, I want it to be nice, right? So of course I'm going to do that. Or even just your neighborhood, like separate houses. It's not even a building, not even an apartment building, anything. Separate houses. If you just are in a neighborhood, you'll have a dugnad as well, where you clean up around your neighborhood. You're making sure sticks are picked up. You're making sure the leaves are picked up. You're making sure that any broken trees are cleaned up. Like you're making sure that people's homes look nice. So you're not just contributing to your own self, you're contributing to the community as a whole. So everyone can have it nice, or everyone can have a pretty yard, stuff like that. Which I thought it would not fly in the US. That would not fly in the US. People would be like, I'm not gonna clean up your yard. Why would I clean up your yard? It's your yard, you know?
Less common online shopping. The percentage of Norwegians shopping online is growing every year. Yet, Norwegians tend to shop more commonly in physical stores than Americans do. Walking through the streets, you'll see people carrying an array of bags from different stores, from clothing to kitchenware to sports gear. In America, I've watched store after store in the nearby mall be shut down due to the rise of online shopping and be replaced by entertainment centers like laser tag and escape rooms. Is it a positive or a negative thing to not have to go out to shop anymore? Is it just contributing to the ever-growing laziness of this generation? Or is it just time-saving and convenient to have the items you need delivered to your doorstep? What do you think?
Norway has this thing, that's why we don't have Amazon. Or, I mean, we have Amazon, you can order from Amazon, but it's gonna take, a month for it to get here. But they have this thing where companies like that aren't allowed to come in here and build because they want to protect Norwegian business and Norwegian small business. So you're just not allowed to do that. And so we don't have one-day shipping or overnight or, I think you can do overnight, but within the country, right? You can't overnight from Amazon. You can't do an hour from Amazon, right? And it's to protect Norwegian business.
Nordmenn, synes dere at disse riktige skildringer av kulturen deres? And the rest? Which one of these culture shocks surprised you the most? Skriv det i kommentarene. Og som vanlig, takk for I dag, ligget bra, tjus og auf Wiedersehen!
That was fun. That's it. Some of them were surprising, I guess. But it's fun to talk about Norwegian culture. Let me know what you want me to react to next. And like she said, takk for I dag!